What's up, guys? It's Joe back with another video here. We're going to talk about the football side of things a little bit more today with the NFL draft creeping up. It starts on Thursday in Kansas City, and I'm sure you saw the thumbnail, but today's video we're going to talk about the possibility that Deuce Vaughn ends up with Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and the Kansas City Chiefs. In a recent episode of the 3 Mile podcast hosted by John Kurtz, Cole Manbeck, and Derek Young wasn't actually in the episode, but I want to still credit him for this. They had an interview where Deuce Vaughn sat down and joined for the pod and basically talked about K-State stories, some things he's experienced in Manhattan, and also the NFL draft process a little bit. And in there, he revealed a bit of a nugget for both Chiefs fans and K-State fans. So after being asked, basically, Vaughn responded by saying, teams are looking at me anywhere in the middle rounds. We'll see what happens. I'm grateful to go anywhere, which, you kind of expect Deuce Vaughn to say. But the one thing that caught our interest here, so John Kurtz asked, obviously it's the Kansas City Sports Network, so they're going to have to talk about the Chiefs. Hey, have you talked to Kansas City at all? Vaughn basically said, yeah, I actually met with both the running backs coach and the special teams coordinator, and we did some couple things, some different drills with not only running back things, but also special team specific things, which Vaughn has been showing the ability to be a special teams guy more, obviously with, in the event that he goes to Kansas City, Isaiah Pacheco is running back 1 right now, so Vaughn would have to contribute on special teams as well to work his way into a role a little bit more. And that's the biggest thing he's been showing through, the pro day. He received punts, even though he never really did that in college. So he's looking at kickoff return as well as punt return. Because of how elusive Vaughn is in the open field, it's a no-brainer in my mind. But with that, not only did he get to work out for the Chiefs, he also sat down with Andy Reid and Matt Nagy and talked about the possibility of that potential joining up, seeing where Deuce Vaughn fits into the Kansas City offense. And he basically complimented both of them for being, football geniuses, essentially. And we all know that. Obviously, Andy Reid and Kansas City's been going crazy as of lately. 2 Super Bowl wins in the last 5 years, 3 appearances, and things have really been incredible for the Chiefs. To imagine a pairing between Deuce Vaughn and Andy Reid blows my mind. I can't even consider what the possibility is. Now, I wasn't the greatest play-by-play guy ever or, color commentary guy ever, and I'll definitely agree with that. But I was lucky enough junior year to call a K-State game with a couple of my buddies for the radio station, and one of the things I kind of mentioned in that broadcast was that K-State has a similar offense to an NFL pro-style offense. And I know that you're going to say, well, no, Joe, there's not this much. There's a lot of things that are parallel or similar. A lot of the pre-snap movements that K-State runs to try to get a feel for where the defense is at is very similar to how Andy Reid runs the offense. You see Kyle Shanahan basically use receivers as running backs consistently for the 49ers, but like with Andy Reid, you see so much pre-snap movement. You saw it with Kadarius Toney. You've seen it with Tyreek Hill. Could the new guy to do that be Deuce Vaughn, be 22, wearing red? I would be blown away. And let me just say, 22 is an open number for the Chiefs now that Trent McDuffie switched over to 21. Just saying, 22 in red and gold after being 22 in purple with K-State. How about a Deuce Kansas City Chiefs pairing? I would be so thrilled. I realistically don't see it happening until at least the 3rd or 4th round, which teams could be high on Deuce early. He didn't run a ton of drills at the combine because he was still dealing with an injury that he aggravated in the Sugar Bowl. But Deuce has so much upside, and especially in an Andy Reid-esque offense where you can go end arounds and have Deuce Vaughn run 45 yards before the play starts. I think seeing him not only on special teams, but seeing him in the offense as trick plays and different designs, just to give Isaiah Pacheco a break when he can, that would be unbelievable. And I know that would be just Hall of Fame level amazingness. The K-State homer in me would be crying. I'd be so happy. Tears of joy, obviously. I plan to cry purple-tinted tears of joy if Deuce Vaughn gets drafted by the Chiefs, but we'll have to see. We'll talk about it a little bit more. There hasn't been a ton of news right now. We're waiting for transfer portal guys through K-State basketball, as well as a couple of spring game type stuff with K-State football. Obviously, we don't play a spring game, but there's a lot coming up through that 15 practice schedule. We'll see what happens next. I'm not 100% sure, but I know as soon as some more big news breaks, we'll jump in and talk about it. I want to give a shout out to you guys for helping me grow so much already. We're almost at 200 subscribers, which I am so grateful for. If you've enjoyed the episodes or if you've enjoyed the show, go ahead and consider subscribing. It helps me out immensely, and it takes a fraction of your time. I appreciate it. We'll be back to talk some more K-State stuff in the future, but for now, let me leave you with this thought. How good would Deuce Vaughn look in red and gold? That's all I'm going to say. I think he'd look incredible, and I can't wait to see it. When the Chiefs inevitably draft Deuce Vaughn in the NFL draft in the 3rd round, bookmark it now. That's where I'm sitting. That's where I'm staying. Go Cats.